There are crashes out there that I will probably never forget, and I think every cop out there has those that are those crashes that just really bring, something home to you. There's a connection. When I had the traffic safety team, I had 12 deputies out there writing a lot of tickets every day, but that wasn't getting the message out. We needed an education part to this whole puzzle.
Actually, every 15 minutes, the name of it came from every 15 minutes there's a fatal car crash where somebody actually loses their life in an automobile crash in the United States. Lane County has one of the highest fatality rates of all 36 counties here in Oregon. So even with alcohol reduction programs and the effort that we've tried to make in educational programs, we still have a very, very high fatality rate here in Lane County, and that's what we're trying to reduce. This is the sort of program that will bring a reduction to those sort of statistics.
Every 15 minutes is a 2-day in-school drinking and driving prevention program, which focuses on youth at the high school level. Day one begins when a cross-section of students are removed from class by the Grim Reaper, one by one every 15 minutes. A chaplain then reads an obituary to the class, which was written by the students' parents prior to the event, as the Grim Reaper escorts the student to our event room. At the event room, the students are made up in white face paint and black robes and become the living dead. So the students then write on their own headstone what they want to be remembered by, and then they place that headstone in a mock cemetery at a focal point in the high school for staff and students to see as they pass by. The students then return to class, but are not allowed to speak to anyone else for the remainder of the day, as they are now the living dead. They're a visual representation of how many people die in alcohol-related crashes. The living dead students or involved students come back to the event room, or they're prepared for the mock car crash. Moulage experts then use makeup and create realistic injuries on our students to make them appear as if they've been involved in a crash. The entire student body and faculty then go to the staged car crash site where the crash will take place. Emergency responders then respond to the crash as they would any fatal wreck and attend to the occupants involved. One student is subsequently arrested for DUII. One is transported from the scene by life flight, and several are transported by ambulance. The last student, our deceased subject, is then transported from the scene by a local mortuary. So following the crash, some parents of the students who have agreed to do so receive a mock death notification. Despite the fact that parents know that this death notification is coming and it's not real, it's delivered as any other notification would be, and the effects and emotional impact are very real. The involved students are then taken on an overnight retreat with event staff, and this in part helps the parents of the students feel the effects of what it'd be like if their child had really died in a crash. A paramedic puts on a presentation which shows the students the aftermath of these events, not just from an injury standpoint, but the emotional impacts and financial impacts that it has on their families and friends. So one of the last things at the retreat is letter writing. They write letters to their parents as if they had died and this is their last chance to say goodbye. In every event we've done so far, this has been one of the most emotional parts of the whole program. Day 2 of the program is an assembly at the high school, which is open to the entire community. People from the community who have lost loved ones to alcohol-related crashes come to the assembly and share their stories. Parents who received the mock death notification the night before come and share that experience and talk about the emotional impacts that it had on them. Towards the end of the assembly, students who choose to come up and read the letters they wrote to their parents the night before. The assembly ends when the involved students come to the front of the assembly and take a pledge and ask everyone in attendance to take a pledge to not drink and drive or ride in a vehicle with someone who has been drinking.
I got to be one of the students involved in the car crash, and when the firefighters and policemen came over to our aid, reality really set in and it became very emotional for me. It really hit home.
The Every 15 Minutes program isn't designed to be any kind of scare tactic program. What it does is it brings all this knowledge and information in kind of a dramatic setting, but it's not necessarily meant to scare, it's meant to inform.
In addition to that, it focuses on the kids, the school, the families, and the community as a whole, and it just seems to have a much longer lasting effect than some of the other programs that were available to us.
Aside from the emotional aspect of it, the program actually was a lot of fun. I, quite frankly, hated cops before this program. After these 2 days, I just really changed my perspective of them.
So even though all the financial issues that we have or any of the staffing issues we have, it doesn't really matter because here's a program that really doesn't cost much money. It does take some effort. We're able to get this message out there, and you can't get better than that.
In my 18 years with the Sheriff's Office, being a part of this program is one of the things I'm most proud of. And I know other officers involved feel the same way.
So this program really shows students involved that their choices affect everybody, not just themselves, the students around them, the community, everybody.
Because this program has such a positive effect on the outcome of some of these tragic incidents that occur because of alcohol-related traffic accidents, if it only saves one person's life, it's all worth it. That'll make it worth it to do it now and in the future for as long as we possibly can.